All right, I really wanted to talk about a recent comment I got on Instagram on a post that I was talking about not teaching gender ideology to kids in school, as well as not medically transitioning children. And this person commented back to me in an exchange of comments, which you can see on Instagram. They commented back to me and said, please step back from your jealousy of allowing kids to have what you didn't have or have the chances that you didn't have. And honestly, I was like blown away that somebody could even post that, because I don't make this content and I don't do these videos because I'm jealous of the children. I'm not jealous of children transitioning. Children should not be transitioning. Like I said, in extreme medical cases, might it be needed? Yes, but in extreme rare cases. We should not be medically transitioning as children as young as 10 years old, which is happening. There is proof of that. And it is ridiculous to sit here and tell me that I'm jealous of the children, of them having a life that I didn't have, because that's not true. That is completely false and completely ridiculous. I love the children and want to protect the children from this gender ideology and from them possibly transitioning too early. We're already seeing all the proof right now with the D-trans community. We are seeing what happens when you push this gender ideology onto children and onto teenagers. We're already seeing the effects of that. So why would we want to start teaching that in school? I just don't understand. Like, the funny thing is, this person posted this to me, and this is honestly a lot of what I think is going on in society. I think there are a lot of far woke people and far woke trans people who do want to live vicariously through children and do want them to have those opportunities. I am not one of them, because I know the dangers of medically transitioning. There are dangers to being on puberty blockers. There are dangers to medically transitioning. There is no long-term evidence that what I am doing is safe, myself as a transsexual man. So how can you ever convince me that it's okay for children to medically transition when I have to sign a waiver of consent, knowing that there are medical problems and medical issues that could arise and that have arose and that I have spoke about and I will continue to speak about? To be honest, I plan to do a whole video and maybe a series of videos about informed consent, the negative things that happen from transitioning. I'm not trying to be that person who's just like trying to tell everybody not to transition. That's not what I'm doing. If you're trans, if you really are trans and you're an adult, you can make that decision yourself and you can choose to do that. But I want to be clear, because it's very obvious in the detrans community that a lot of these children and teenagers were not fully informed about what could happen to them after being on hormones, what could happen to them after being on puberty blockers. What we need to understand about medically transitioning children is that even if you decide to put a child on puberty blockers, you are committing that child to being in the pharmaceutical as a medical patient for life. They will be in the pharmaceutical industry. The pharmaceutical industry is banking off of this. And why would you want to do that? Like I said, with the very long list of side effects of transitioning and taking hormones, or doing that, and other things, it is just ridiculous. I just don't understand this push, like I said, for this gender ideology to be pushed and for everybody to be trans. Like I said, if you are trans, that's great, but we shouldn't be pushing this on children. It is scary. This is a hard life. This is a hard life. It's not easy. This is something I wouldn't choose. I wouldn't choose to be this way. This is a disorder. I have a disorder. It's on a piece of paper. I'm being treated for that disorder in order for me to live my life. We don't want to force children into these boxes, into these labels, and tell them that, oh, you're trans just because you like boys, you're a girl and you like boy stuff and like whatever. No. Most of those kids could just be tomboys, could just like those things and end up totally being cisgendered normal. Some of those kids could end up being gay or lesbian. It's a very small percentage of the population that is trans, okay? We need to Start speaking out about the facts about taking hormones, the facts about puberty blockers, the facts about Lupron. There's just so much, and it's so frustrating because Lupron alone, I mean, do your research. They use Lupron in jail to medically castrate men in prison. And we're going to give that to children? That makes any sense? Because it doesn't. So please, once again, just go do your own research. Don't jump on that first link and just read that article and trust that what you're reading is true. Do some deep dives. Read 20, 30, 40 articles. Do your research. You will see all of this stuff's out there. It's blatantly out there. What you are being told and what you are being fed is not always correct. Please do your own research.